Hey guys, happy Friday. Today is Friday, November 22nd, 2019. Super excited to be here with my friends Pamela Hamilton, Jason Babin in the back, and Darcy Miller. We're going to talk about RedZone today. We're going to talk about a lot of really cool stuff. We're going to get Pamela, so she absolutely loves Facebook Live and all social media. So she's not sitting here and go, what did I get myself into? But I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Give us a thumbs up or a heart. Let us know if you can hear us and see us. I'm sure you can. But they are going to talk about RedZone. They're going to talk about their origin story, give us a little bit of background on them like we love to have all our guests do. And I can't believe it's the Friday before Thanksgiving, so everybody's kind of in a really good mood. They're certainly in a good mood here. So welcome to the show. So I'm very excited to talk to you. I'm very excited to learn more, but we like to start with origin story. So ladies first always. So Pamela, welcome, and tell us a little bit about you.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
So Pamela Hamilton, yes, I'm blessed to be the managing partner for RedZone Orlando. Our brokerage is based out of Jacksonville. We have 3 offices there. The brand is growing exponentially throughout the nation. So a little bit about me and my background. I've been in real estate for over 10 years with local brokerage in Winter Park. Before that, I was developer general contractor and developed many communities throughout the state of Florida with multifamily, being townhomes, apartments. And I did that for 13 years.
Wow.
So
you've got a wide range background.
Mm-hmm.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I was going to be an airline stewardess.
See?
I just thought that was the best thing.
You get to travel.
We're learning things about him.
Oh, thank you. No, because I did a lot of traveling when I was younger, and traveling to see my grandmother, no matter where she lived in the origin of the United States. I would go fly to see her, and that was back when Pan Am was.
I miss Pan Am and those old
I wanted
school.
to be a Pan Am Pam girl.
Yeah.
So that's
You'd still
who
smoke
I
on
was.
planes, right?
You could
Yeah.
you could do
You
anything
actually
you
had
wanted on
silverware
planes.
and a tray.
Yeah, it was
and all
real
that,
service.
so
It wasn't them
it was
throwing
real
a bag of
service.
peanuts if you're
Yeah.
lucky. You're paying $7 for a bag of peanuts like it is now. Well, that's
So,
cool.
yeah,
Where
very
were you?
different.
Where were you born?
I'm in Lakeland.
Oh, so you're a
Yeah,
Florida girl.
I'm a Florida girl.
Oh,
I'm a
very
Floridian.
cool.
Been here my whole
Central
life.
Floridian even.
Yes.
All right, so then we'll go back to Jason Babin, and then we'll finish up with Darcy. Hey, Jason.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm actually relatively new to real estate. I've always had a passion for it. But let me back up. I played professional football for 12 years. And while I played, I got involved in projects and buying houses, renovating them, renting them out, flipping them, and I just really enjoyed it. I grew up with my father was in the trades. He had his own company, so I grew up around a lot more of the construction side of things. Like he was really old school. He made me learn, everything from electrical to excavating to roofing. He just, as a kid, he threw right in there with all the guys.
Love it.
It's the way I had to learn. Grew up really old school. But when football was over, which it inevitably always is at some point, no matter how long you play, tried to figure out what I wanted to do, and I realized what I enjoyed and what doing was obviously helping people with houses, remodeling, property management, and I was like, well, how can I do all those things in one? So myself and Kyle Bosworth, who also played in the NFL, we kind of came up with this concept of RedZone Realty. Because when you're in the red zone, that's where you want to be. You're about to score.
There it is. I like it.
And honestly, the hardest part of starting was creating our logo. We wanted a logo that represented a lot of inner meaning, and if you look at our logo, it's the shape of a house. It's obviously red for the red zone, but then the voided space has the uprights of a goalpost inside of it. So you look at those, the FedEx logo, the Amazon logo, we really wanted to, kind of come in line with, a lot of thought process in the logo. But this is year 3, and we've obviously keep building our team. Pam is the newest addition in the Orlando office.
Yay!
Welcome, Pam.
And Darcy, he runs our business development side of things, and we're just excited to just keep growing and keep moving forward.
This is one of the things, and then I'll get to Darcy, that I love about the show is that I had no idea. You play football, nor did I understand that you were part of starting the organization. That's why I learned. That's why I'm as surprised as the guests are. I think that's so amazing. 12 years professional football, that explains the height and the build. I wasn't sure what was going on there, but thank you for coming on. I think that's really a great story. All right, Darcy, you're gonna wrap it up on that part for us.
Oh, fantastic!
Please.
Yeah, thanks for having us. This is really a thrill. Yeah, I'm the company protagonist, if you will, and
We
I
learned
like
that
that.
today.
I like that. That's good.
yeah, I help people achieve their goals and dreams and aspirations. It's my whole job is to align myself and my gifts, my abilities, and my blessings with other people's goals, dreams, and aspirations, and help them achieve them.
So did you start like that? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, I actually wanted to be a professional football player.
Wow.
See?
We're learning about
We're
Darcy.
learning.
Yeah, right. And that didn't work out. So, but yeah, I've always been servant-hearted as my
Sure.
foundation, and I found myself gravitating towards leadership positions, positions where I can help, whether it's been in ministry or leading groups of people in business, in personal life, whatever it is, working with kids, all of that. And I kind of just in the last 20 years have taken all of that passion and everything that I've had, learning through the years, my experiences, the wisdom hopefully that I've gained over those years, and plugging it into helping other people grow their businesses and achieve what they're trying to achieve in life.
So Pamela, how did you find RedZone?
I didn't. RedZone found me.
I love that.
That's very true. I like I said, 10 years in the business.
Yeah, I
wasn't
only
even
knew you at
looking
one
for
place.
change. Yeah, I was only at one place. I went directly from development to, like I said, a boutique brokerage into resales. Very content with that. Like I said, very loyal. I was built a great business and clientele. And one day, obviously I did a really good job because I was referred to RedZone through a client of mine, and a client that I had 3 transactions, and I knew they were happy as clients, but I didn't realize really, I guess, what an impact I had on them personally. And so when RedZone was expanding to Orlando, one of our agents came from the Jacksonville region, and that's they became friends. So my name was I was referred, and I received a phone call just out of the blue, July the 9th. I'll never forget it. I still have the voicemail. I told him that yesterday.
No
I still have
way.
the
Oh,
voicemail
that's so
on my
cool.
phone. I had to listen to it like 3 times. Like, is this real? Is this really what's happening? So yeah, I met with them, and immediately it's just a great connection.
Was it immediate? I'm always fascinated when somebody's long term in something. You do get used to it. You know what you know, and then the unknown isn't really a part of the package anymore. But when you take a leap of faith and step outside and do something new, what was that process like?
Well, I mean, and you said, like, I'm a a spiritual person. I'm into faith. I've been praying honestly for some direction. After 10 years, you kind of feel like, now what? My career, I'm not old by any means, but I was just kind of feeling like, what am I going to do for the next 10 years?
Right.
Am I going to just continue on the same course or the same path? And obviously, God had a different plan for me. And so
What made
Darcy,
it different?
Because now I'm in a managerial
Yeah.
position. I'm still in the industry. I love the industry. I mean, my passion's in being servant, helping others, and achieve their goals. And so basically, just transitioning from an agent, to our business, developer, to now in a more of a managerial role. And I love it.
I love that.
it. I love the agents, love the people, love the culture. It's a perfect
Let's
fit.
talk about that. I love that word culture because real estate professionals have a lot of options. There's a lot of
They do.
there's a lot of recruitment going on, and I'll just leave it at that. Especially in Central Florida. Jason, what do you feel like you all are doing differently? What are you offering differently?
Well,
Great
the culture is something we talk about quite regularly, and it was purposely talked about from the very beginning. It was just when there was no agents. But the one thing I knew after being in the NFL for 12 years was the culture of a locker room. We had the right culture, and to me, having the right culture means a lot of things. There's having what you want. What are your core goals of what you want to be about, who you are, and then no matter what, not deviating from them. And it was important for us in the very beginning because obviously we're used to coaching, we're used to learning, we're used to being someone evaluating us and then pushing ourselves and doing better, being competitive and being open-minded, all those things that make you top tier, whatever your profession is, whether it's football or whether it's business. So I took that knowledge or what that concept was, and said, listen, we're drawing a line in the sand. If you fit in this box, you're on our team. You know, whether you're sell one house or 1,000 houses, it doesn't matter. But you have to fit inside that box of those categories, that type of person, those type of people, because we wanted to surround, you know, the Red Zone's culture is important. We wanted everyone to be very similar in that sense.
I think that's so important because I think a lot of people will start that way, or a lot of companies, and then they let just that one person that kind of brings the cancer into the organization. And it can be very difficult to keep drawing that line.
Well, I always use sports as an analogy, and if you look at someone like, and I never played for the Patriots, but they have a very you know, distinct line in the sand. You know, if your guy has a little colorful pass and you come to the team, you know. And I'll use Randy Moss for example, because him and I talked about this. You know, he knew. He said when I went there, he's like, Jason, I knew. Like I had to act a certain way, be a certain way. It didn't matter anything. But if I didn't, listen, get your playbook, you're out of here. Right. And he had the best year of his career, I think, that year, or one of the best years. So it having that sometimes is scary in the sense of like, well, there's an agent, he's a $20 million producer, but he doesn't fit in. Like it's okay to say no.
It's so okay to say no. I love that because the money, the production doesn't matter if it's making a negative impact on the culture that you have established and are really building and growing. Because I know, like at Freedom, I didn't like any mortgage company prior to Freedom. I just thought the culture was absolutely terrible, and it just didn't fit in. It wasn't good for me. And once I found the culture, it makes such a difference. Then I can talk passionately about it, like you all are, and mean it. I can actually say, I love working there. I love working with the people. I love the culture that the team leaders have created. And that's so important, especially when you have so many choices. Realtors right now, real estate agents, professionals, are really getting hit hard on the recruitment end, and not everybody wants to go the way that a lot of people are going. Not everybody wants to go to a big box, for lack of a better word. They love the culture is what I think people are looking for. Is that what you do, Darcy? You go out and you try to show how amazing Red Zone is?
Well, yeah, that's a big piece of it for sure. You know, what we do is, as it relates to recruiting, you know, we have a saying that, you know, everybody's happy till they're not. So you've got to be in front of as many people as possible and be their plan B when it's time for them to make a change. And so how do you become their plan B? Well, you have to have that culture that's attractive, that's unique, that you have something somebody else doesn't have, all right, that you're totally irreplaceable and irresistible. And when you can convey that at a high level, the magic starts to happen. And I really believe we have that. We have the core values that will attract the right people and repel the ones that won't be attracted to that, obviously, right? And that keeps your cancer inside of an organization down to a minimum, and really creates a magical environment for people to thrive in, and that's what we shoot for.
What's it like on the managerial side now? What's it like? Because I know it's not that you've given up real estate or anything,
no.
but that does add another hat, like a hat. So what's that like for you?
It's a transition. I mean, it's definitely a mind shift, you know, to go from just working with, you know, the clients at that time was buyers and sellers and representing, you know, them in their home, to now that I'm helping multiple agents grow their businesses. So it's definitely a mind shift. One that it's actually coming a little bit easier to me than I originally thought it would. I commend, you know, Darcy and for the support, and Jason too, that they offer to me and assist with that with all of our managers. You know,
I think
for
you're
all of
a
ours.
natural born leader, though. Like I feel like you have always had leadership, but you know, if you're not in a position where that can be shown or exercised and grown, then of course it's going to lie dormant. Like.
Right. So
But I feel like you have that personality and that the drive and the support. You're easy to talk to. I think a lot of times managers come across so gruff, and they're not accessible, and you're obviously an accessible human being, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah, Ted, if I could expound on that just for a second. Pamela is amazing. We did the Myers-Briggs test for all of our people in our leadership.
Oh God,
And
tell
she
me
came
what
out-
that came
There's
out
a lot of people watching here, Darcy.
I'm dying to know the answer to this one.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not-
I learned things about
That's
myself.
great.
Exactly. So, and I'm not going to tell you the letters because that will mean nothing to anybody, but the label that Myers-Briggs gave her was defender. And I think that is so important. That is such a great term for Pamela and what she brings to the table, because she's going to protect the people that she's involved with at every level. And when you have that kind of a heart and that kind of a mindset and outlook, it is so attractive, and it's something you want to be a part of. To know that everything that you're doing is being supported at the highest professional level, and that they're going to take care of you, and they're going to support you, and they are going to protect you. And that's Pamela. That's our defender. So
I
it's
love
going to be really
that.
The warrior.
You're the
I'm the red zone warrior.
I love
Exactly. You get a sign above the door, the defender.
the
defender.
defender.
Yeah.
You know, when people feel safe and they feel like they can trust you, everything else tends to fall into place. It just does. When you're in an environment like the culture you're talking about, it's just so important. If there's not a trust level, or they don't feel like you have their back, which you obviously do as the defender, then they don't want to be there, and then they don't feel safe growing there. They don't feel like they're going to be heard. I think that's so important. What did you guys come up with? What was your name? What was yours, Darcy?
I'm the protagonist.
You're the
Yeah,
pro.
for
Oh,
sure.
that is the
Yeah,
name.
Yeah, I am a protagonist for sure. The opposite of an egotist, if you will.
I like that.
I support people. I lift them up. I encourage them. I equip them. I edify them. And but I hold them accountable. Right? There's got to be some accountability
Agreed.
measurements in there as well. And my personality just fits it to a T for sure.
How about you, Jason?
Executive.
Executive.
I am ABCD, getting things done.
ABCD. I'm always like a big I. Is that part of it? That's a different test, right?
Disc, yeah.
Yeah, I'm disc. Yeah,
You're
there's
high
no
on
other
that.
letters except I. It's because I like ideas, right?
Mhm.
I'm not an executive. No implementation here,
Well, that would be
guys.
a high D.
I need a
in that
lot
one.
of people to. It takes a village. I've said this many times to take care of Ted Bogert and do the TED Show and all of that insanity.
Well, we're here.
I appreciate that very much. What do you see future-wise? What do you see in the market? I love to ask real estate professionals when they're here what you see in the market, because we're getting so many mixed messages.
Sure.
Agents are getting mixed messages on recruitment. They don't know what they're doing. Where's the best place to go? So if culture is one of the things, they're being told a million other things.
Right.
But I think the consumer isn't really sure what's happening either.
Yeah.
So what do you see?
There's a lot of things going on right now because you're getting a lot of information. There's a lot of places to get information from, and everyone is concerned about the recession. That word's been thrown around a lot. And then as soon as you say the word recession, you're thinking of 2008, which is scary.
PTSD. I think
Right?
we all
Everyone
have
thinks
it.
about that recession,
It's
but
terrible.
for recession is just basically anytime the GDP slips in the negative, 2 consecutive quarters. So it's really not that scary if you really just look at it at face value. But when you think about that with 08, you're like, oh man.
Yeah.
But if you look over, let's just say the last 5 recessions, real estate's gone up in 3 out of the last 5, increased in value, and the other, obviously 08, we know how much it went down, like 19%. But the other one, it only went down like 1.9%. So overall, and this recession that's everyone's predicting is going to happen, in the next 18, 24 months, or whenever the crystal ball says so, it's going to closely relate not the 2008, but I think the 2001, where real estate prices went up. So I think
The seller's market?
it's going to be still real estate is going to be just a good market. It's going to continue on. When you read these, if you really just dive into these articles where they talk about the recession, get down to the bottom after they try and scare you. It says real estate is going to keep rising, values are going to keep going up. So I think educating your listeners, and it's our duty as for the jobs that we have, is to educate the consumers about what the future holds, and real estate is good, is going to continue to be good.
And that's why being a resource, which is what I also hear you all want to be, being a resource for the consumer. That's why I'm not a big fan of mainstream media, because of the sensationalism of every single little detail. It's all about the scare factor, and then you really do get to the nitty gritty. But a lot of people don't get past that initial scare, and they don't read the bottom line. And so having relationships with RedZone, having relationships with your real estate professional and partner is just so critical, because there's so much misinformation out there, and there's so much shock value stuff out there. And I think that's what creates that scare, that fear. Like you said, which I didn't know, I knew it was the two quarters on the GDP, but I think a lot of people all immediately are right, 2008. And if you're older, you go to the Great Depression. There's some crazy little things that are out there. And it's not that scary, I guess is what I'm saying. It's just not scary. But if you read anything, and we also get our information so quickly, and so you just read the headline,
Exactly.
you're already sad, depressed, the world's coming to an end, and you really have to go further. So why not have a relationship with people who care, like the Red Zone people? I just think that's so important. You get that feeling too. I wouldn't say that out loud if I didn't feel that's how they are. Everybody in my audience knows that. So recruitment. Talk to me just a little bit about that. Is that a word you guys use? I'm sorry, that's my word in the loan world. Getting new agents, new family members, new Red Zoners.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that an okay word? Because I'm going to ask a question.
Recruitment
is okay.
Recruiting is the name of the game, and you can't achieve your goals and dreams as an office, as a company, or even as an individual business owner. We don't call our real estate agents. We call them business owners. Every single one of them is in business for themselves. And we want to be the resource that they utilize to grow their business. And we have everything in place that you could possibly need as a real estate business owner to achieve your goals, dreams, and aspirations, from marketing to training to coaching. And I got to slap myself. We agreed we weren't going to say training. It's business development. Culture shift, right? Mindset shift.
Wait, what's the shift from training to?
From training to business development.
I like it.
From busy to productive. Right? Those types of things. And when you have a company at your disposal with a mindset around, your success with all the things that we offer, you can't go wrong. And to expound a little bit on what Jason was saying regarding the recession, you need people in your corner that are going to prop up what the positive things are that are happening out there in the world.
Absolutely.
Because you need to be the knowledge broker for your sphere. Nobody else can run your sphere or work your sphere the way you can. And if you're not giving them the truth and the real news, somebody else is. And that's when things get a little scary and a little hairy. And that's what we want to avoid. And that's how we empower the business owners that work for us to succeed.
You're providing them tools so that they can be that to their sphere.
Absolutely.
You're providing the business owners, I like that, your business owners because that's I like to be and I'm sure you all do, I want people to call me for everything. If I had somebody yesterday ask me for a mechanic, I want to be the resource because I don't want them to call anybody else, and I already know everybody in town, so why not call me?
Exactly.
And I will help you out. But that's sort of what I hear you saying. You want to be a resource for your consumer, your buyer, your seller, anybody out there. You want to be a point of reference for information that's being disseminated, which is really, really cool and critical. I think a lot of people miss out on that. What are you guys doing social media wise? That's another question I get asked a lot on the real estate side.
A lot. I'll let Jason.
Well, we're definitely really active.
Cutting edge.
Obviously, we have the Facebook ads, the Instagram ads, the story, the TV, the YouTube channel. We just integrated, as we've been growing and the company's become larger, we've just now rolling out a marketing website, video production, podcast studio available to all of our agents to use, so they can leverage every possible tool to reach every consumer, every client that they want. And one of the biggest things is videos. As you know, look what we're doing right now. We're on Facebook. We're making a video. We're checking some serious boxes. But all the content, the large majority of content, is video. So if you're not making video, then you're missing out. So it's something that we want to make as easy as possible for our agents. To make videos, to post videos, give them content, give them things to talk about, have resources, and hey, what's going on in the market? Let's talk about this. All right, now share that with your sphere. Make a video. And the thing is, not every video has to be perfect. You want to make a professional video, that's great. Grab your iPhone, sit in your car, sit behind a nice backdrop, just talk. And if it doesn't come out right, it's okay. Post it, we'll make another one. And just encourage you, because sometimes the biggest thing for agents or loan officers is that initial start. Just do the first one, now do the second one, and just keep going.
Agreed. I think it's so important that you realize that it's not perfect. You come in, like a lot of people say, God, I can't imagine what your setup's like, Ted. Well, these three lovely people just saw what the setup's like. We're at a table, there's glasses all over. We had to squeeze into the picture. It's me and my iPhone and a camera stand I got on Amazon for $30. You don't have to have it perfect, guys. You just have to be consistent. I teach that in the social media classes that I teach.
Absolutely.
Consistency is everything. If you're going to do it once a week, make sure it's once a week. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I think you're right, Jason. They get caught up in this perception that, oh my God, I'm going to look stupid. Yeah, you probably are. Your first couple of, go back to look at my first few shows. It's kind of embarrassing, but it was a learning process, and it's how else am I going to learn? How else are you going to learn if you don't just get into it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I tell the business owners that we coach, we tell them, look, you're sending a video out to your sphere. Your sphere knows what you look like, and they know what you sound like. Get over yourself and do it. Right? That's so key, right? Understanding that you don't have to be uncomfortable, to do this. It's the people that are watching you are people that are going to support you. They know you, they like you, they want you to succeed, and that's so important to people. So let your guard down and go do it, man.
So how do you feel? How'd you do?
I feel great.
Okay, good. See?
We're talking about you.
I know, it's sort of like me.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I'm like, three of us were kind of dancing around it, so I had to ask you.
I'm getting more comfortable.
Good,
for sure.
good. Well, you know what? Again,
I'm a people person, but
Yes.
for some reason, like I can talk to people. I have no problem with communication. But when to be in front of a camera, all of a sudden I'm just like shut down. So,
well, it's funny, right? So
Right.
you just see, it's just us looking at each other right now, right? And I try to tell people, it's just having a conversation. If you don't have to get every single stat right on something you're talking about. You just have to be honest, and people can smell fake a mile away. So if you're too over prepped, I always advise against that. You want to talk from the heart, and you want to showcase. I immediately, when you started talking about culture, I knew that was real, because you can hear it in your voices, you can see it on your faces. That's another reason why I love live, because there's no editing.
Right.
And so you can see that, and people can sense it in your voice. You can't make that up. All right, so we're going to share all of Pamela and Darcy and Jason's contact information, how you can learn more about RedZone, because I think it's fascinating. I love anything that is culture-based, and that your business owners / partners are important to you, because I think a lot of people are missing that in their vocations right now, especially in the real estate world. All right, so we love to end the show with shout outs to mentors. Mentorship is so important. If you're not mentoring someone, if you're not involved in the community, there is so much need out there, and we just love to encourage you on the TED Show and TED's community to get out. And so we love for people to give, show some gratitude, show some love for someone who may have helped you along the way. And of course, we always start with ladies, so we start with ladies first. Pamela, how about you?
I know I owe a lot to my life coach. She was my life coach for about 8 years. She's no longer with us right now, so shout out to her. God bless her. But no, she really transformed me. Back even before I got into development, really the mindset. She was my sounding board for anything personally or my career, and she really, really taught me a lot about my morals and values.
Love that.
And so she's
Her name?
Her name was Eva.
Eva.
Yeah.
Eva. That's awesome. All right, Darcy, how about you?
Yeah, it's so many. Gosh, because we look at motivation differently, and what motivates us, and how we take on each day and everything else. And I'm gonna go in this direction. I'm gonna call out Jim Jacobs. Former pastor of mine, moved on, but we used to have a weekly breakfast where we would just talk about life and what was going on. There was no pressure, no agenda, no nothing, but the value and the wisdom that I received from him shaped a lot of the decisions I made, raising my kids, the husband I try to be, and of course the partner that I try to be in people's businesses. So Jim's an amazing resources, and even a better man, and he's awesome.
Love that. All right, we'll wrap it up with you, Jason.
Well, as maybe some people know, I was a little bit of a troublemaker when I was a kid, and I had a role model that got me into outdoor stuff, and kind of spent a lot of time with me, and was also my gym teacher, and he played football at a high level as well, and always just took a shine to me for some reason. He saw something in me, I think, maybe that some of the other teachers didn't. And I was honestly thinking about him the other day, like I need to look him up and call him. So Kim Rocamp, I know you're on Facebook. I know you hope you're staying warm in Michigan, but I appreciate the time you put into me and what you saw in me.
I love that. These guys are the real deal, the RedZone people. Thank you guys for coming on so much. So we'll share all their contact information. They're going to tag it and share it too. Reach out to Pamela, reach out to Darcy, reach out to Jason. You guys have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Wish you the most amazing Thanksgiving. The TED Show won't be back till after Thanksgiving. But I appreciate all three of you coming on. It was a
Thank you.
joy. You guys are amazing. Yeah, the joy and the love for what you're doing is palpable in the room, and I think the audience can feel that too. And I love to be around people like that. We love you guys. Mwah! We'll see you soon.
Happy blessings.
Bye.